This is Life After 85. Some of you have watched my videos before and kind of know what I'm up to, but I've had a little time gone by since I talked to you folks last. So a lot of things have happened, and I'm going to share them with you. And stick with me, and I'll tell you where I'm at and where I'm going. A few months back, my wife started getting a lot worse than she was, and I decided that I needed to stay right by her side, and I did until she was gone. I lost her May the 9th, and it's really sad after 64 years, but that's what life brings us at any age. At this particular time, it just happens to be mine after 85. But I'm going to try to keep you in touch with where I go until I'm all gone in this old world. And we'll make some fun out of it, because after all, life is just about a struggle to keep going and try to make the best of it. So right now I'm in Idaho Falls visiting my beautiful granddaughter and her boyfriend, and I'm sitting in my little casita trailer out behind her house, and very comfortable. I've had a wonderful trip up here, but it was challenging to say the least, because since I talked to you last, I've acquired a little more uh, mental interference, I guess you want to call it. There is another name for it. I believe it's called dementia. So anyway, you live with what you got, make the best of it. So here I am. My granddaughter's trying to help me work through some things here, but I'm on my way to Idaho, and I'm going to spend the rest of my life in either Idaho or um, Montana, on the west side of Montana. I like that country. I raised my family up there, my wife and I, and we both wanted to go back, but she had that blood disease and just couldn't go back. We tried to go back about a year ago, and we got halfway through Utah from Arizona, where we were living, and she felt too sick to go on, and so we turned around and went back. So I had to promise her that when she was gone, if she went before I did, that I would see that she got back home. So Bonner Ferry, Idaho, is what we've called home for many, many, many years, and so that's kind of where I'm headed right now. And Idaho Falls about 500 miles from there, I believe. And tomorrow morning I'm going to leave and head up that direction. And but anyway, get back to tell you what's been happening. My wife had turned sick, and there was no way for her to have any medicines or anything to keep her alive. So she'd agreed to go into hospice, and it stayed with hospice until she was gone. And she left with as a very powerful woman, and had been my support all my life, and so it wasn't any surprise to me that she accepted her end of life and made the best of it. In fact, 2 days before she passed away, I thought she was unconscious, but she rolled over. My son and I were in the front room watching her, and we were waiting for her to see how long this was going to go on. We were watching her 24/7 and giving her the medicines and stuff that you do when they're in hospice. But she turned over and looked at me, and she said with a smile, "I'm still here." And that's just about what her attitude has been all her life. And the next day or two, she passed away while I was sitting there watching her. And it was a sad day, to say the least. But as she would want, I'm going to move on with my life and try to make the best of it. We have a lot of memories that I can live from. But in the meantime, I have to find a way to survive. And as I had told in my video before, that I'm trying to find ways to recover the medical bills, clean me out, and so I'm pretty much broke. But I'm bound and determined to go back to Idaho or western Montana, and I have a little house that I've already showed you that I've designed, and life willing, I'm going to go in and and have that little house built, and I'm going to live there because it's just as cheap as living in this in an RV park because they want so darn much money for it. Not to mention I'd freeze to death. And so I'm going to go up there and I'm going to take you through that when I get up there, and I'll be back on here to show you where I'm at when I get there and how things are looking as time goes on. So I'm excited about getting home, and so I hope you'll stick with me. What I'm showing you here today is a little bit of things of the past, where what was going on when my wife was in her last months of life. I was writing a book, and I'm still I didn't get to finish it, but I'm still writing it. Since I was there with her 24/7, I had to find something else to do to keep busy and keep my mind off the tragedy about to happen. And so I'm writing this book that I had started calling Conversations with a Pig about 30 years ago and never got finishing it. But I'm pretty much into it now. I've got 131 pages, I believe. And I'm changing the name of it to The Mystery of the Talking Pig, because I think that's a more appropriate name for people who are looking for something that's a little bit mystery. It's a little bit of a love affair, mystery, and a little bit about climate change, if you will, that comes off in the end kind of accidentally. So I hope you take an interest in that idea and maybe read what I hope to be finished with in the next few months, and hope that it'll help fund my house, because I'm actually going to go back to work with a little gig that I have, and it doesn't bring in any big income, but it's fun to do, and I'm still capable of doing it, and it'll help me raise some funds too to keep to get my little project going. So at my age, I may not be here any day from now till I don't expect more than a couple 3 years, but I'll make the best of every day that I got as long as I can. So I'm glad that you're watching this video and enjoy what life was like when my wife was in her final stages of life, and share that with you a little bit, kind of quickly. And it's not the most exciting thing, but that's how we live when we're like this, and we're going to be moving on. So I'll get in contact with you folks and put another video up here on life after 85. By the way, time has went by since I started this little project, because I started it when I was 85. I'm now 86 and a half. I've lost some sight. I've lost some more hearing. And I'm a little bit more fragile than I was and more vulnerable, but I'm making the very best of it. I can still drive during the day. I cannot drive at night anymore. When I started this project, I could still drive at night quite well. So I have macular degeneration, and that's working down on my eyes. So I've got a certain amount of time left before I go blind if I lived long enough. So I hope you've enjoyed some of this and got something out of it for your own life and your own way of thinking and doing what you like to do. And I'll be in contact with you, and we'll have some more conversation about where I'm headed with this. I'll show you the land that I hope to be able to purchase, and with finances so bad it may be difficult, but I'm going to make the best shot at it. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll come back and join me again. It helps support what I'm trying to do to get to where I'm going in this road down to life. Thank you again. Bye-bye.